Good day, everyone. This is Pilot News, and welcome to DDO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in DDO and on the tabletop. And please welcome my co-host from Ravenloft, Dracula.
Hey now, everybody. How's it going?
Everything's going fine here. How is the battle against the plague in Barovia?
We're about half there. Little better. At least you can hear me when I speak now, so that's a plus.
That is always a plus.
Yeah, I have no idea what this stuff is that I got, but let me tell you, it's horrible. You don't want anything to do with it.
Right, I'll try to avoid it.
Yes, would be the safest option for you. Avoid it at all cost.
Then let's head into the news that we can't avoid, and we'll begin with update 40, patch 2, which I presume fixed a few things.
Yes, it did, and this, of course, happened last Tuesday. So we're a little bit behind in the news, but that's because we didn't have a show last week. We would have said, "Hey, tomorrow we're getting a patch," if we would have had a show last week. But now, see, we're doing this whole time travel thing again, and it gets really confusing. But yes, there is a patch. You should be aware of it. If you have played the game, your client has updated. If not, surprise, your client's going to update. And update 40 patch 2, we had some enhancement work. The Wood Elf's Arcane Archer toggle is now working properly without levels in Ranger. So if you're not a ranger, you can still use the Wood Elf's Arcane Archer now. Before, you could not.
You're happy. You must be happy about that, considering that you're a rogue.
I am. I did. There was something else I'm really happy about later on, too. But
Okay.
yes, very happy about that. Assassinate is now going to display immunity particles if the character hits an immune target. Okay, whatever. Assassinate's death effect no longer requires landing a sneak attack to apply. A normal hit will do. However, you still must be stealth to use the spell. So that's pretty cool. So as long as I'm sneaking, I can still assassinate.
Okay.
And the Hallelujah Choir moment of the patch notes, assassinate can now be used on oozes, elementals, constructs, and undead creatures. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. The description no longer references living target, and it now just references targets.
So how do you assassinate something that is amorphous?
Well, how I looked at it, because I thought about that too, I'm like, it's kind of silly, but I can assassinate lots of things now. But how I looked at it, if you're a high enough rogue and you have assassinate, you have trained in the ways to assassinate people. You know everything's, ins and outs of everything's and how to battle them and how to kill them. So you would, in theory, maybe know, okay, an ooze has one certain spot that they are more vulnerable than something else.
Okay, I'd say, and that if you're fighting at a fire elemental, you just add a little ice type.
Exactly, that's right. Put a little ice in your dagger and you're good to go. But yeah, so that's awesome. I was happy to hear that. So now when we play, I'm going to be assassinating everything left and right. I'll be like, don't kill that yet. I'll take care of that for us. So we'll see once, but I got a long way to go on the new character that we created before I could assassinate those. So we'll see.
Now this next one looks a little bit weird about falconry no longer needing Killer Instinct 1 as a prereq for taking Killer Instinct 2.
Yeah, I thought that was a little weird too. I'm like, okay, so I can just skip 1 and go right to 2? Sweet.
But that depends on what. I guess it depends on what Killer Instinct 1 and Killer Instinct 2 do. I've never gotten that far yet.
I have not played with the falconry tree at all. So this is all you. You are going to learn the ins and outs of this tree and give us a full report, I'm sure.
Uh-oh.
The long pause has also been removed in the attack chain when using a falconry attack. They also fixed an issue where death from above would hit the player if the player had no target. That would suck.
Ouch!
Your own bird killing you. Not how it's supposed to happen. Falconry's level 20 capstone now properly applies its freedom of movement effect. Several animation issues have also been corrected with Falconry. Death from above can now be used on oozes, elementals, constructs, and undead creatures.
Well, at least now that's something for me then.
Yeah. So you too can do cool stuff to all the stuff I can assassinate. So there you go. We're
right.
even, Pineleaf. We're even.
Those oozes don't have a chance.
That's right. Bring on Muckbane. That's all I'm saying. Epic Destinies. The Shadow Dancer's Executioner Strike / Shot can now be used on oozes, elementals, constructs, and undead creatures. And the description no longer says living target and now just references target. Okay, it's like Groundhog Day all of a sudden in here.
What a coincidence.
Yeah, amazing how that turned out. What a shocking turn of events we have, folks. So, hirelings, they fixed an issue where some hirelings were posing strangely.
Oh?
I.e., no more T-posing hirelings, or as I call them, the hirelings in the Jesus Christ pose. Hirelings are now normal. Well, okay. Hirelings should not pose strange. We'll put it that way. Can't vouch for their usefulness, but though ever since I've had a talk with my hirelings, they seem to be okay now, especially the rogue. But we don't have to use the rogue anymore because I'm a rogue now. And then some items got a little bit of fixed an issue where hand wrap users who received extra dice through any means were 0.5 lower in total than they should have been. So that would be a monk fix, sort of, kind of. Then the Ghostly Benefit now mentions ranged and melee to its tooltip. And time runes from the new raid Killing Time can no longer erroneously be passed to other players in the chest before being looted. Wah, wah, wah. And a few miscellaneous things. Halfling female sword and shield attacks now have their proper animations. Dragonborn female cloaks now behave normally when you're opening a chest. I don't know what that was about, but okay. Half-orcs no longer pop to the left when they use the lap emote. That was the funniest patch note, I think. And the NPC dwarf males now cross their arms properly. Because God knows everybody was really complaining about that one, right? So, just saying, several animation tweaks have also been made related to certain races and item combination and cloaks. So that is Update 40 Patch 2.
Then let's head into Movember because we all like to see Cordovan without his facial hair.
No, we do not. He looks weird. We love you, Cordovan, but you look weird without the beard, man.
Yeah. He said he was talking about on the Lotro stream how one of his most viral videos was one that he did with Watsy. I can't remember whether they were interviewing him or he was interviewing them. And it was one of those viral videos, and he wonders, why did he schedule it for November?
Yeah, yep. Of course, everybody should be familiar by now with what Movember is. So that is when Cordovan and other members of the Standing Stone team that is partaking in Movember shave off all of their facial hair, and then they grow it back during the month of November. It is to raise awareness for men's cancer and other various issues that men face with their health. This year, they're doing something a little different. They're doing it in DDO and Lotro this time around. Usually, this was just a DDO thing, but now I guess he's doing it over on the Lotro side.
He sort of decided to do both of the October and the
for
both.
Yeah, I was going to say because usually Lotro did the Extra Life and DDO did the Movember, but this year Lotro and DDO both had their Extra Life going, and vice versa. They're both doing Movember, so you can donate. We'll have links in the show that you can donate either to the Standing Stone team as a whole. And then we'll also have links to where you can actually donate to the various members of the team. And as always, we have some incentives this year. It is a special incentive.
Special?
You can get the highly sought after, highly wanted, that we haven't seen since 2012, the pork barrel.
The pork barrel?
Yay for the pork barrel. Pork barrels are awesome. If you're not familiar with what the pork barrel is, it is a barrel that has a pig on the top of it.
Okay.
And when you shoot and break the said barrel, it explodes. The pig explodes. And the pig rains down tasty, tasty ham. Ham falls from the sky and people rejoice as tasty ham can be had by all. So if you would like a chance to get yourself a pork barrel, you need to donate. There's also a few other things. There's some group incentives. $1,000 if they raise that. Five 500-point DDO codes and 5 picks from the community list. $2,000, 5 more 500 DDO point codes and 5 more community loot picks. And at the $3,000 level, 5 more 500 DDO point codes and 5 more community loot list picked. And those all are going to be for people who donated at least $10 or more. There is also some individual incentives. If you donate at least $5, you can get a forum title of your choice. Just remember that has to fall within the community guidelines. You can PM Cordovan with your desired choice. And then if you already have a custom title, you can add yet another one onto it, so you can have 2. At the $10 level, you can get a custom forum avatar. Let Cordovan know what you would like, and he'll do his best to make it happen. And $20+ for every $20 donated, you'll get a stack of 10 pork barrels. Tasty ham for a year. Hallelujah. He is currently working with the DDO team to get these into the game data in a way that will allow him to make codes for them. And that's going to be similar in the way that he can do DDO point giveaways. He did say this is going to take a game update, so he won't be able to distribute those until at least December, unless they do another update earlier and the team has time to work it into the code.
Right.
So just keep in mind, if you're donating to get the pork barrels, not going to see them probably until at least December.
Therefore, the pork barrels has nothing to do with Washington politics.
Well, I'm not going to open that can of worms. So yeah, moving right along. Donate, as I said, we'll put links up that you can donate to Standing Stone, the team as a whole, or you can donate to Cordovan as well. So Movember happening all throughout the month of November.
Then it's time to head into our DDO Chronicle, where on the top we have a
Dragon by a chronoscope.
Dragon by a chronoscope.
I'm guessing this is from the new Killing Time raid. Just
okay.
from what I know about the raid and what I've heard about the raid, pretty sure that's where that is taken from. The raid kind of involves the chronoscope and dragons, from what I've been told, or what I've read, I should say.
Well, in that case, yeah, pretty sure.
Yeah, almost positive. Cool looking shot, though. So yeah, in our DDO Chronicle this week, we have the first episode of the bonus D&D night, where we have a brave group of dwarves tackle Waterdeep Dragon Heist. And of course, that's sponsored by Fantasy Grounds, and that is a little bonus you're getting for the D&D night. And just as a little spoiler for this show, pretty soon those brave dwarves are going to have a drow with them.
Ooh.
A drow and 5 dwarves walk into a tavern. We'll see how it ends.
I could see all sorts of bad things happening.
I.e., I refuse to play a dwarf, so I'm playing a drow. That's how that works. So yeah, you can check out episode 1 where I was not on that one. So it'll be interesting to see how Evil Beaker works me into the game, because that was they recorded that the second night that I was pretty much, I thought I was going to die from the Barovian gunk I had. So yeah, I was not on that episode, but I watched it. Wonderful, wonderful episode. So it's going to be fun. Fan site news section of our Chronicle. Mickey, of course, talking about ratings. She's in week 95. Fridays on Ice, episode 101. So congratulations to Baklagor for passing the 100 episode mark on Fridays on Ice. Brock and Friends, of course, role playing through DDO. Check out Brock and Friends. DDO cast number 537 had an episode where they talk about the end game proposed changes. Don't forget the Damsels of DDO. Damsel hilariousness will ensue, I guarantee it. And we have Axel and Lynn. They are doing the Night Rebels. They are two of the newest streamers over on DDO Stream. Freedio is on episode 6. Of course, that's with Psycho Blonde. And Inside the Magic Circle with Tone Station. And that wraps up our fan site news section. So let's move into our Chronicle comment. What was the best thing you got with your Night Rebels ingredients this year?
I didn't do anything with Night Rebels ingredients this year.
So nothing for Pine Leaf. That's sad, actually. You kind of made me sad, Pine Leaf.
How does that make you sad?
Because the Night Rebels is awesome, and there's cool stuff you can get out of there. I can't believe you didn't make anything at all. Of course, I guess you didn't. You didn't run it a lot either, though. Actually, so there's that. For me, it's kind of a toss-up. It's either between my Red Reaper cloak or the Spectral daggers. So I can't decide which one. I really, really like those daggers because I made 2 of them, and I'm using them on my Vistani Knife Fighter. And they're pretty sweet. So I might have to say the Spectral daggers. And finally, to wrap up our Chronicle this week, screenshot of the week is Ginger Spice and Little Mama do the new Dragonborn dance in the 389th DDO screenshot of the week. And of course, that came from Ginger Spice.
It looks like it came from a disco.
Yeah, that's the ship buff. I forgot what it's called. But if you have that ship buff, you actually have a disco on your ship. Because who doesn't want that?
So they're staying alive then.
Ooh, I see what you did there, Piney. Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss.
Let's head into our store sales then. What's for sale this week?
The exciting news is +3 Tomes of Fate now available permanently in the DDO store. Ooh. This week's sale is the Adventure and Advanced sale. You're going to get 25% off through November the 8th. Select adventure packs, Quest XP elixirs, and free sample of the week is going to be a lasting water breathing potion. 5 of those when you use the coupon code BREATHE, BREATHE, now through November 8th. So that's a handy little item to have if you don't have an underwater action item and you can't cast the spell.
Let's then see what's coming in from the dungeon, where Waterdeep, Dungeons of the Mad Mage, and accessories were delayed for a week, but I think we're getting closer to the launch date now?
We are, yes. As a matter of fact, the end of the week. They were supposed to come out last week in your friendly local game store. That was a WotC approved store that gets stuff early. But WotC did announce via their Twitter page that Hallister was at it again. Because of a hex he cast upon the printing presses in their world. Waterdeep Dungeon of the Mad Mage, Waterdeep Dungeon of the Mad Mage map pack, and the Dragon Heist dice set were delayed until November the 9th in your friendly local game store, and they will be available everywhere on November the 20th. So it was just a week's delay, but a delay nonetheless.
Then let's go and see what we have next, because apparently there is going to be a new Dungeons & Dragons campaign setting next year. The details are at best fuzzy.
That's one way of putting it. You basically broke the news right there. Yeah, there's going to be a new campaign setting next year. That's all we know. And this was kind of announced in a weird way as well. Nathan Stewart, who is the senior director of Dungeons and Dragons, and also, strangely enough, he's the senior director over at Avalon Hill. Wonder how that works out. Anyway, he made the announcement on his monthly Spoilers and Swag Twitch show. He does this once a month on the Dungeons and Dragons Twitch channel. He sits down with a bunch of guests, talks to them, gives away some swag, and he usually, leaks a little bit of information here and there. Well, this month's show was all about Extra Life, as WotC is partaking in Extra Life. So if people donated, I think it was $150, at least $150, their name was read on the stream, and then they got to, quote-unquote, spin a wheel, and they actually had a wheel there, and they would spin this wheel, and then the wheel would stop, and it might say, you won some stickers, or you won one of the new books, or you won a board game. But there was either 5 or 6. I can't remember. I'd have to go back and watch the screen.
There were 6 spoilers.
6 spoilers. All right. There was 6 spoilers. So it was like spoiler number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And one of the people donated $150. The wheel was spun, and it came up to spoiler number 6. And Nathan Stewart was kind of like, this is a little awkward. And then he kind of messed with his, I think it was a laptop that had a touchscreen. And then he's like, okay, so here we go. Next year, for our annual release, I can confirm there will be a setting book, a new setting book, a book that we have not created that is for a D&D setting. So I was like, sweet, we're getting a new campaign setting. And then I was like, okay, let's back this truck up a second. What do you mean a new setting book, a book that we have not created?
Like a different publisher created it?
That's what I'm saying. Am I just reading semantics into this? Did you just word it a weird way? So I'm like, okay, so anyway, but then he did go on to say, he did stop people, do not speculate, do not put rumors out. It is absolutely, I repeat, absolutely not Spelljammer. Because WotC's kind of been trolling people with a bunch of Spelljammer stuff recently. They created rules to fly a spaceship. They have tweeted out fonts and drawings that look like the Spelljammer fonts. But he swears up and down it is not Spelljammer. They are not doing Spelljammer. So we'll see. But I guess that leaves it wide open for everything else. I mean, it could be Dark Sun. It could be Greyhawk. It could actually be Ravenloft. We could actually get a Ravenloft book.
Hold it. But a Ravenloft book was recently done, wasn't it?
Not for the campaign, though. That was just the Curse of Strahd story itself. This would be like the whole campaign for Ravenloft, like they did back in the 2E days.
Okay.
To where you would get rules for all of the Dark Lords, all of the different. So,
but WotC was in control in the 2E days, so no matter what you say, because I know earlier before the show you were speculating, well, maybe they're not counting anything done by TSR as being
right,
lead,
which technically that's still WotC, but so yeah, so I don't know.
I know. Yeah, but 2E was
again semantics, right? So
yeah, probably WotC days. So I don't know when the 2E came up relative to the purchase by WotC.
I'd have to look. I can't remember. So it's
that's right. No, it was after it was out, because I remember that it was because I was doing the stuff with Magic the Gathering, and about in the middle of my time period with him is when they started picking up Dungeons and Dragons stuff.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, so but I could be anything at this point. We won't know, and he didn't say when it was going to come out. He just said it was next year. So is it going to be, because usually what they do is they have a book in the spring, they have a book in the summer, then they have a book in the fall/winter. So we don't know where it's going to fall in that. So stay tuned. News coming at some point when they decide to release more information. But all we know is it's going to be a campaign setting book. And then once again, the direct quote: next year, next year for our annual releases, I can confirm there will be a setting book, a new setting book, a book that we have not created that is for a D&D setting.
Yeah, that is just really weird.
All I'm saying is please let it be Greyhawk.
Well,
Greyhawk would be
we'll
amazing.
see.
Or Ravenloft, that would be amazing too. But please let it be Greyhawk.
We'll see if we can have some 5e love for Greyhawk.
Yes, please.
Because with all those settings that they had that used to be in Greyhawk, like the Temple of Elemental Evil that somehow found their way into the realms.
Yes, please.
Then let's head into the screen where the cult classic Knight of the Comet is going to have a remake?
Yeah. Yay, I guess. I don't know. I love Night of the Comet. One of my favorite 80s movies. Love the movie. I'm on the fence about this. I don't understand why they have to do all these remakes. But I guess if they do it right, could be good. This news was broke by Deadline, who seems to get all of the cool news. That, yes, the filmmaker Roxanne Benjamin is going to make a new version of the cult classic Night of the Comet. And if you're not familiar with what Night of the Comet is it was a 2 female lead show that was set in post-apocalyptic zombie apocalypse, like all good movies are. They have find themselves being some of the few survivors in the zombie apocalypse, and they start killing zombies left and right. And horror and comedy both ensue during Night of the Comet. I'm sure most people have seen Night of the Comet. I guarantee you Pine Leap has never seen it. See, I didn't even ask him. I'm like, so Pine Leap, what do you think about this remake? Because he's got no clue what it is, folks. Knew that going into the story. So it's cool. Deadline does report, though, that the film is going to indulge in the horror and the sci-fi side a little more than the comedy. The original kind of mixed the two together, so it was kind of a comedy horror. It was a weird mishmash, but worked so awesome. So can't wait for this. Some point next year. No dates, no more information. But yeah, Night of the Comet getting a remake. But again, why do they have to remake everything? That's what I don't understand.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens, though.
Next thing you know, they're going to remake King Kong. Oh, they've already done that twice.
Yeah. Oh, wait. And both times it was horrible, but I digress.
What? You didn't think that Peter Jackson could?
No.
Let's then go into our week in gaming, and we'll begin with Draculetta. What were you up to?
Well, not a lot, since of course I was dying of whatever this thing is that I have that you can still kind of tell in my voice. I still have a little bit. So the only DDO I played was with you, I think. I was trying to think if I played any other time, and I do not believe I did. So we'll let you talk about that, because to be honest, I don't remember what we did. It was so long ago. I did play some Dungeons & Dragons 5e last night, as a matter of fact. Was the third and final part of The Witch in the Woods. It's thrilling adventure over on DDO stream. That was a course part of a tabletop night on DDO stream, and I'm not going to spoil it. It was pretty darn epic how it ended. Let's just say I did something pretty epic at the end, and then some other things happened, and there was a big twist. So that's all I'm going to say. I'll spoil it later after people watch it, but if you haven't watched it, you need to watch it. And you can check that out over on DDO Stream's Twitch page. Also, I think it's up on their YouTube now, and it's going to be on my YouTube soon because I actually streamed it as well. I'm going to export that out of Twitch onto my YouTube as well. So if you want to watch that, plenty of places to watch it.
Yeah, I did see it pop up on YouTube.
Did you? Okay, yeah.
Earlier today.
Yeah, I thought I saw that today when I was checking something else on YouTube. I thought I seen that in my stream, and I thought, oh, that's up on YouTube now. So a couple of different places to watch that. Pretty epic. Very, very fun. Of course, that was a 3-part Halloween-themed episode that Cordovan was the DM for, so check that out. And then I had part 1 of Operation Finally Kill the Undamables. If you're a fan of the show, you know who the Undamables are. That is a group of my friends that I always play D&D 5e with, and I've been trying to kill them for I don't know how long. And their characters usually refuse to die. So this is the time when I finally kill them, because I made an impossible adventure for them. If they survive this, I don't know how. They are level 13. We started out at 13 because I wanted new monsters to throw at them. And boy, I can't wait. They got their main quest. They know what they need to do. They're outside of the mansion that they have to go in and rescue the person from. So we'll see what happens. Lots and lots of monsters waiting for him inside of there. They've had one combat, but it was a fairly easy combat because I wanted them to think they were safe. That's right. I'm like, I'm just going to throw this easy stuff at them, and then once they get inside. And I can't mention any of the monsters I'm using because I know one of them listens to the show.
But he knows that you're trying to kill them then.
They've known that from the start. I mean, that was well established from the start.
Okay, you didn't give them any illusion.
Oh no,
surviving the adventure.
No, basically, we sat down at the table and I said, okay, it might not be this session, it might not be the next session, but all you asshats are going to die. I guarantee you. Didn't want to give them any illusions that they were going to make it through this. If they do, good on them, and I'm going to throw my hands up and say, I give up trying to kill you because you people refuse to die. So we'll see what happens.
The Enigma Toyos.
Exactly. So we'll see what happens. So part 1 is underway. So I'm not sure when we'll do another session of that because some of them live pretty far away, so we only get together a couple times a year, so it's kind of weird how we play, so we'll see what happens with that. Video game-wise, I played some more of the Bard's Tale 4. Review of that coming soon. Spoiler, love it. Other than and I'm just going to throw this out here now, it's also going to be in the review. The only thing I hate about Bard's Tale 4, there are way too many damn puzzles in that game. Like, way too many puzzles.
Oh, and I know how you feel about puzzles.
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, I get it. The original Bard Tale and Bard's Tale 2 and 3, okay, sure, they had some puzzles in it, fine, whatever. This is like, they have puzzles to open doors. And I'm like, now why do I got to do a puzzle to open a door? That's just dumb.
I guess it's not a specially locked door or anything like that. It's just a regular, ordinary door.
It's an ordinary door, but you got to do a puzzle to open it up. And I'm like, this is just dumb. This is like throwing a puzzle in just to say, hey, we're going to put a puzzle here. So yeah, only thing I dislike about it, way too many puzzles. So if you like puzzles, this is a game for you, apparently, because you're going to do a lot of them. Another thing I'll say about it, it's hard. It's really, really hard. But having fun with that. I also installed, have not played yet, but I did install the Call of Cthulhu, the official video game. So my character will soon be insane, I'm sure, because it is Call of Cthulhu, after all. So, and that, I think, is out now, or it's coming out soon. Because when I got my key, it was a review key. I was under embargo until, I think, Halloween before I could even talk about it or show anything about it. But now I think it's officially out. So if you would like to get that, I do believe it is available on Steam. I'm going to have to double check that to make sure that is the truth. But I think that is the case. So I should be playing that pretty soon. And a review will be coming at some point. I might even Twitch that too. We'll see. Usually I do pretty crappy in games like that, so I don't know if I want to embarrass myself live on Twitch or not with that, so we'll see, maybe. I might do maybe a first look video of it. I've done that with some video games at times, so. And then played some tabletop, as I was with my group of friends, of course, so we played Haunt the House, We did an interview with Kids Table Board Games at Gen Con about this. Look for a review of that coming within the week, probably, for the site. We also played Conan the board game. This is the Conan game that was kickstarted, I do believe it was last year. Two of my friends kickstarted it, got it. We played it. Really fun, really hard game, really brutal game. But of course, it's set in the Conan universe, so it's going to be brutal. Then we also played Disney's Villainous. Look for a review of that as well. That game actually surprised me. There is a lot of strategy involved in Villainous. It's kind of misleading because it's a game that you can get in like Walmart and Target. So it's a quote unquote kind of mass market game, but yet it's not, because it's got a lot of strategy and it's kind of a heavy board game. It's gonna. Well, I guess I should save it. Well, I'll just say it now, and I'll also talk about this in the review of it too. It's gonna confuse people. Disney's Villainous is definitely a tabletop board game, if that makes sense when I say that. It's not like people could just pull this off the shit, like somebody walking through Target or Walmart and sees this. Oh, cool, it's a Disney game. I'm going to get it. It's going to be like Monopoly or something, right? No. No. This is a board gamer's board game. It's got a lot of rules. It's got a lot of strategy. There's a lot of little fiddly bits to it. It surprised me. I was not expecting this from the game, but it was super, super fun.
And it doesn't do them gradually to you, such as Harry Potter does?
No. It's like you sit down to play it, and all of a sudden you're like, whoa, this has a lot of cards, a lot of bits. There's a lot of actions I can take on all my moves. And then I have certain win conditions, and I have to do this. And then I can do this to other people to stop them from getting what they need, but then they can stop me from getting what I need. So yeah, it really surprised me, but it's loads of fun though. So I will do a review on that pretty soon as well. And then we also play the Choose Your Own Adventure game, House of Danger. Of course, this is based off of the book, the Choose Your Own Adventure book, House of Danger. And what it is, the easiest way to describe it is you and your friends are reading the book, but as you read the book, you're playing through it because it's done with cards. You start with 2 items and a card, and then the first person that's going to play reads the card, and then you have a choice, and then it tells you, okay, this is going to happen, so read this card, and then you might do something else. And then it has a danger track, so the higher up on the danger track, of course, the harder things are going to get, and there's a little small dice rolling mechanic in it. You have to either roll the same or higher than your danger track for challenges that come up. So really fun game. Enjoyed that a lot. And I kind of thought you can't play this one solo. And it's been out since before Gen Con. So it's been out a while. I was, as I was playing through this with my friends, you can play this solo. So I'm thinking I might do a video playthrough of this over on my YouTube channel, maybe. Of course, it's going to be super, super spoilery because you can't really play it without spoiling it, but it's been out since Gen Con, so I would assume anybody that doesn't want to be spoiled has either A, you've read the book, you know what's going to happen, or B, you've already bought the game, so you don't care about getting spoiled. So I don't know, I'm kind of mulling that over, so we'll see. But that was my week. So how about you, Pineleaf? What were you up to?
We will begin with what we did together in DDO, where we took our new wood elves and finished up Misery's Peak to say done with Korthos, which I'm sure you celebrated.
I did. I'm pretty sure I celebrated a lot on that Twitch stream. If I do recall, there was a couple woohoos, and it's like, thank God I'm off of Korthos. Something like that.
Yeah,
a low-key celebration.
A low-key celebration. Then, of course, that meant that we wound up in the harbor after taking our little ship over there. Then did the Baldry's quests and did that little series where you protect the boxes, then bash box. First you protect a box, then you bash up a lot of small boxes.
Sure, why not?
Just to be contrary. And then, of course, then get that final item in there. We finished that up. Then we ran Bringing the Light to smash some gambling tables. Once we had that done, we both had reached a level 3. So we leveled up, and that's how we finished up the session, is doing all our leveling up stuff, so that now we'll be ready for the next session and do some maybe the Cerulean Hills or the Waterworks.
I know the choices are endless.
Yeah, we'll have to decide that next week. Then in Minecraft, I did a lot of Minecraft this last week. That's probably where most of my gaming timing went. First off, in Wellstopia, I finished up the haunted house portion of the Sinister Secret of Salt Marsh. And one of the things that was tough here is I had decided that I wanted to do the haunted house with minimal use of carpeting because it's supposed to be a dilapidated house, so therefore the carpeting, I figured, would have all been destroyed. So I was trying to avoid using carpeting. On top of that, I had the little problem of how do you make a nice, sinister, haunted house without making it dark? Now, of course, you know that what happens in Minecraft if you create a room that's dark,
Uh,
mobs,
don't you get the creepers?
yeah, you get creepers and other mobs
Yeah,
popping in
okay.
all over the place. So therefore, I had to light the place up, but I was trying to avoid carpeting. And one of the places I did was able to make dark was the attic, where I decided that it had dust so thick that it felt like carpeting.
Oh, nice.
So I did carpet up that room, made it very, very dark in the attic, and also put some boxes in there so it'd be hard to see past and all. So I made that one properly dark, but most of the other places tended to be a little bit too light. Now, the module does say that the lighting inside the haunted house is, quote, excellent. Now, why a haunted house would have excellent lighting is, of course, beyond me, but that's beside the point.
Ghost like light? I don't know.
I don't know, but anyway, what I eventually wound up doing is that most of the lighting I had in there is by jack-o'-lanterns. So I
Oh,
have these
nice.
So I have these jack-o'-lanterns all over the place. Some of them floating because I figure, well, you want to add a little spookiness in there. So I did put jack-o'-lanterns all over the place to help on that. But as I said, the place is, in my opinion, too bright. But I wanted to make sure that no creepers popped in and blew it up. I don't like creepers.
Yeah, I can say I think that fact is well established at this point.
Yeah. So that took care of that particular item. Then in the November base race, I prepare that. Now, in the November base race, the theme this month is random. And when you think,
Random.
yeah, well, when you think about base race, where you're playing in a set world, that you're playing this in one specific world where everything is not specially made in it. You have various choices that you make in order to give yourself a unique feel. So you have these choices you make. You're in a set world where it's known that all of the items that you need are going to be within a certain distance from the base. And this must seem was random, meaning you'll be playing the base race in a random world. Now, they had to put in a data pack so that you could get the base race stuff inside that world, because normally one of the reasons you have a world download is so that you can have all that stuff in there. So it gave you the ability to bring that in. You create a random world, so everybody running base race for November is going to be running in a different world.
Okay.
And your advantages and disadvantages that you get this month are being chosen at random instead of being by player choice. So this is all a little bit interesting in trying to go through in there and seeing how quickly can I get through this. The object is to get through there by 2 hours and 40 minutes is the target time. As far as I know, very few of the players are in the habit of being able to get it in less than 2 hours and 40 minutes. And I think 4 hours or some ridiculous time like that is the closest I've ever come to that. So yeah, I'm not exactly what you call an expert in doing the base race. We do have a couple of people there who seem to say, 2 hours and 40 minutes and nothing to it. Yeah, right. Then in the Minecraft Parkour Challenge for the November one this month is a challenge to build a house using blocks stolen from a Guardian monument. Now, I'm pretty sure you don't know what a Guardian monument is.
Nope, I was going to say, and is that a bad thing or a good thing?
Well, Monuments are probably one of the toughest structures to conquer.
Okay.
And the reason for this is because first off, you have it surrounded by these creatures called guardians, and these guardians shoot these laser beams at you, which are direct line of sight attacks that damage you. Inside the monument, there are the elder guardians, and if you approach the area too closely, then they put on a debuff on you called mining fatigue, which causes you to take forever to mine anything. Now, if you're going to try to steal blocks from an ocean monument, that means you're being shot at by the regular guardians and be having this mining fatigue placed onto you by these elder guardians. It's not exactly what you call ideal conditions for taking stuff. And now does that sound bad?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to think.
All right. Then
Okay.
then add item number 3 to it. These things are underwater.
Holy crap. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yes, the
Gotcha.
guardians and other guardians are swimmers. Yeah, so you got to go underwater to get to these things. You have to figure out how to breathe water or find some other way around that. And you're going in an environment where it's not exactly easy to mine in the first place because underwater is not all that easy for most people to mine. And while all this is going on, you've got these guardians shooting at you and these elder guardians trying to make you mining fatigued. Yeah, it's very tough. Now, you've got some bosses in the game that are singularly tougher, like the Ender Dragon is a real pain, but that's in a completely different dimension. And so unless you're going out of your way to fight the dragon, you're not going to run into the dragon.
Okay.
But in this case, the monument, which has one of the a really nice block, because the only place really to get good amounts of prismarine are at these monuments. They also have a block that you get from in there called sponges, which, as you can figure, sponges absorb water, and some people find those very, very useful for some projects. So you have all these wonderful things that you get in there, but those things are tough to take out. So yeah,
Sounds like it
so,
would be.
so you could watch us at the Minecraft Parkour Challenge trying to take on probably some of us failing, some of us getting killed, and all that stuff. Because when hardcore means you die, bye bye for the month.
Wow, really?
Right, because hardcore, one of the definitions of hardcore, of course, means that you only get one life for that world. Whew. Then in tabletop, I played a second game of Fantastic Beasts Perilous Pursuits, this time with Jacob and Queenie, and I actually managed to catch all 5 of the beasts. I also played a new game by Friedrich. Oh boy,
Freedom and freeze.
yeah, Freeman Freeze. Yeah, that's his name. Freeman Freeze. And this is a new solo game called Finished, where you are an office worker who's trying to get things finished before the deadline and all. Actually, I think it's before before the deadline. And the deadline in this case is you get so tired you fall asleep.
Okay.
Therefore, the time counter in this game, where you mark off when you go through each full round, are mugs of coffee that you've been drinking in order to stay awake.
Nice.
Yes. And special powers are done through sweets because
Oh,
you,
because
you
why
power
not?
them up with, to add a little sugar into your system. Yeah. You get the idea. So you have all this office worker theme going on about this. And it is a single deck game. And so you go through a deck of cards and you try to get them in order, is the object of it. So you can think of it as yourself trying to file things properly. Then we just had a release of an adventure to go with Deep Space Deep Six called The Long Way Home. This is sort of like a choose your own path adventure type thing. You're going through the system, or more like a programmed adventure. You go through the system, and sometimes you'll come to a system where you just have a regular combat of Deep Space D6, though with a limited number of cards rather than going through a full deck as you normally do in the game. And the occasionally you land on planets where you're going to have little adventures going through programmed ones where you choose your own path going through there. And in this game, it's sort of trying to get home after surviving what you have in the main game, because in the main game you go through the entire deck of cards and you get beat upon, stuff like this. Now you're trying to limp back home after that happened to you. And of course, you're going to run to things like pirates and all that stuff that are trying to kill you on your way back. So that is The Long Way Home, which is a companion for Deep Space D6. Now, if you don't own Deep Space D6, there is a print and play version available at Board Game Geek. So you can play that version if you're someone who likes to do print play stuff. But I should warn you that the main driving thing in this game is a deck of cards. So unless you have card stock that could give you a reasonable deck of cards when you're doing print and play stuff, then you may have trouble with that. But that's for the main game to it. If you could, of course, also get Deep Space D6 by, I don't know how readily available it's at the stores right now. But I think the reprint should be out soon because they have a second edition that's coming out, and that should be out soon. So if you do get the second edition when that comes out, then you could then play The Long Way Home with that if you wish. We currently have 21 supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to help support DDO players, simply go to the donations page where you can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. There you'll find rewards, including a mention on a podcast your choice, or even a guest with us for an episode of DDO Players News. And after Drac fully recovers for this, he might even find time for looking into those new rewards.
Yeah, at some point.
At some point. Yeah.
Don't hold your breath for them, but they're coming, I promise.
Yeah. We did not get any new emails this week, but if you'd like to send us one, you can send it to podcast at ddoplayers.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at the Players Alliance at Players Ally, DDO Players at DDO Players, Draculetta at Dracula_72, and Pineleaf at Pineleaf Needles. You can follow Drac on Twitch channel Draculetta_72. The Players Alliance has 2 live shows every Monday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, you have DDO Players News, and every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, you have Locho Players News. You can join us for our live shows at ddoplayers.com/live. And everyone remember that next week we have our 200th episode. Yes, 200. We are going to make it to 200, right?
Who would have thunk this little podcast would have made it to 200 episodes?
All I can say is I hope that the Brovine flu does not delay this.
I hope not, too, because it already pushed us off a week. I already had some stuff planned that it's not going to work out now because we had to go later a week, but we'll see what we can do.
We will also have some giveaways, maybe some plans that weren't scuttled by the Brovine flu, and we'll have these giveaways both in chat and on the site. So if you don't normally come to the chat, I would recommend that this would be the week to do so, right?
I do recommend that as well. But if not, the day after, so we record on Monday night. On Tuesday morning, over on DDOplayers.com, there will be some giveaways that will be happening next week. Not this week. Don't go tomorrow. There's no giveaways on the site yet. I mean, you can still go to the site and see all the cool posts we have, but no giveaways tomorrow. Next week will be some giveaways.
Next week, then. That is all for tonight, and this is Pilot Mules reminding you to quest responsibly.